Hi to all, welcome back to this tutorial on architecture concept design. In the last tutorial we were looking at this smart object called panels, the object for facades, and we have defined in the parameters the height of the rows to 0.6, 1.6 and 0.8 starting from the bottom, so the first one is 0.6 and so on. And for the columns, a width of 1.3 and then 1 meters starting from the middle. So the first column is 1.3 meters and then 1 meter. We have seen also defined it for materials. The first one is a green, red, gray and then gray. Now the material pattern. We have defined in the material pattern A, B. And that means for all the rows, the first column gets material A and the second column gets material B. So we see green and red. If we want to specify a different material for the second row, we write a vertical slash, a vertical line, and we specify the materials for another row. For example, B, A. Since we have 3 rows, we can make another slash and specify the material for the third row. And I will put C. So the third row now is gray. That's my facade pattern. Again, let's give a look at the parameters to understand better. Be aware that my rows are bottom top, so the first row is the bottom one and it has materials A, B. A is the first column and it's green, it's the middle column here, this one. Then we have B, that's red, so B on the left and B on the right, because we are starting from the middle and we go from to the left and then to the right. The second row has defined materials B, A. So the first material is red, this one here. Then it's green and then red again and so on. The third row is material C and it's all gray. If we go into the rows and we change from top bottom, the pattern basically is the same, but the first row now is on the top. Same if we go into the rows and we specify starting from the middle. This will change a little bit things. And here we see the middle row. Remember that my first height is 0.6 meters, so this is the middle row, 0.6. Green is the first material, so this is the middle panel. Then it goes red, green, and it goes upwards with a 1.6 panel and then a 0.8 height panel, and downwards again a 1.6 and a 0.8. That's fine. So let's define something less colorful. We will use for material A stainless steel, then we will use shiny blue, and C we will get a glass material. The orientation of the rows from bottom to top, and then we want to define materials. Stainless steel is my first row, so it's B. My second row is glass, so C, and my third row is shiny blue, B. So we have defined these rows like that. As for other smart objects, once we have defined our pattern, we can copy these parameters. So if we drag and drop this object on another face, we get exactly the same parameters. Since this smart object uses the geometry of the underlying solid, what happens if we edit the solid? Let's give a look. Let's start drawing, for example, an arch. On this top face, start from here, and the endpoint, let's activate the near snap here, and do something like that. Now if I edit the solid and we go down here, it's clear how the face has been rebuilt. The smart object has rebuilt the grid of panels using the new geometry. If we drag and drop smart object over this curved face, we can see how it works even for curved surfaces. And now we see what happens here. Since we have defined the panels that grow from bottom to top, these panels here do not match anymore. Well, we can fix this by splitting the bottom one in two parts, or we choose a top-bottom distribution for both faces. What happens if we have a hole in a face? I will use the offset tool and make a hole in this face and drag and drop the tool again. You can see that this one starts from bottom top, so we will change it in the panels rows from top to bottom, and we have defined this block with this facade.